from the government and PSU industry and the fellow delegates, fellow speakers. We talked about in the session in the morning, the technology has actually changed faces. I mean, from the last maybe 15, 16 years, if we recall, in every aspect of life, technology has brought some revolutionary changes, and what we are going to present here is in a different context altogether. What as an organization MeritTrac has done there. We are talking here about the examination services. When we talk of examination, primarily talking about the recruitment examinations and the maybe entrance examination when we talk about the universities or educational institutions. Now, talking in context of, to begin with, state of Jharkhand, in fact, various parameters what we spoke in the morning, we have seen Jharkhand has been the leading state. Each and every parameter we talk about. We talk about governance, we talk about education, infrastructure, all those aspects, wherever it impacts the common person, actually technology has helped in bridging that gap, and Jharkhand has been one of the leading states to bridge that gap and give or deliver the kind of service to the common citizen there. There's an estimation what we have done, like from the Deloitte research report, in terms of one of the parameters what we are talking about, looking at the addition plans which the government of Jharkhand is talking about. There's an estimated about 44 lakh employments are going to be there over the next maybe 6 to 7 years period. Even today, this number is pretty high, close to about 300 lakh people are there in the organized and the unorganized sector. But there's additional about 44 odd lakhs in recruitments or employment opportunities are going to be there for the citizens in the state of Jharkhand itself. Now that's a humongous number. I mean, we talk about that number and there are various challenges which come around that. For any state, for any kind of organization also to grow further, I think there are a couple of important parameters what we talk about. And manpower is the very essential component in delivery of this services what we talk about. So when we build upon the capacity with respect to the state in delivering the services to the common citizen, what we talk about here is the manpower recruitment, and as I said, like there are large number of recruitment or large number of employment opportunities for the people there. What we talk about here from the recruitment particular perspective, what all technology has enabled and how we can deliver a better examination opportunity or employment opportunity for the citizen here. Some of the important parameters what we would like to share in terms of the examination part what we talk about. Jharkhand state as such has been very unique in its kind of demographic profile. If you say there are multiple districts, there are about 24 districts in the state of Jharkhand. There are multiple tribal languages which candidates or other citizens are going there. Now when we talk about an examination service or when we talk about an employment opportunity, we have to make it inclusive and address all those citizens or all those people who are there in each and every district of Jharkhand. Now one of the challenges which we have seen has been there in the state, there are 19 tribal languages in each of these, rather than consolidated these 24 districts. Now when somebody is designing an examination perspective and approach, we need to communicate with the candidate in a language which he commonly understands. So other than English and Hindi, which is very kind of commonly understood, 19 tribal languages is something which is a very unique particular requirement from the state of Jharkhand. Another important aspect is the state is distributed as over 24 districts. Now when we talk of conduct of an examination, to bring the inclusivity and to bring the convenience to the candidate, when the examination is conducted, you have to conduct examination which is closer to the candidate's district or let's say where he stay. It is very impractical for expecting a candidate to travel maybe 50, 100 or 200 kilometers and come for preparing the examination. So as a service or examination body, you have to conduct examination which is closer to his home district. That's another very unique challenge because many of the districts are troublesome districts. There are a lot of kind of challenges in terms of infrastructure, movement of candidates, movement of machinery, manning and all that. So I think that's one challenge unique which comes over there. Once the examination gets conducted, the next activity which comes in the processing of the result part, so that the declaration of the result can be done in time so as to meet the overall objective. So that's one thing. As I said, because of the multiple districts and let's say some of the internal interior districts, the movement of machinery is another big challenge over there. So when we talk about examination material, in terms of question paper or in terms of other people or resources, movement within the district is another big challenge there. And one which is very common, not only to the state of Jharkhand, but across the country, impersonation or many other fraudulent activities which are undertaken by candidates. So how do we address that? I think these are some of the common challenges which every examination body foresees that. For any project, irrespective if we're talking of examination or any other infrastructure related product, I think there are three important pillars: people, processes, and technology. Now these are the three constituents who enable delivery of the project in reaching out to the kind of, maybe if you're talking of a common citizen or let's say whatever is the delivery audience. So people, processes, and technology are a very important perspective over here. In respect to examination, we have adopted these three pillars, if I was to say. So examination management, obviously when the examination gets conducted on the ground level, a lot of involvement of manpower resources which comes in over here. Use of technology has eliminated many such challenges which were apparent in the examination part, which we will talk about in maybe a couple of other slides also. And in terms of mitigating the fraud, which I am saying the impersonation, which is another big issue in the examination, we are going to talk about that also in the couple of other slides. Now in terms of transforming the examination, I'm sure like most of us would have taken up examination in our life, be it like recruitment examination or university entrance examination. If you go maybe about 18-20 years before, examination used to be conducted in a typical handwritten paper and panel manner, wherein people were writing on a OMR sheet. Well, of course, OMR also has been the kind of intervention which has happened after that. So it used to be more of manual-driven processes, wherein let's say candidates are writing the answers on a OMR sheet and then the evaluation, everything happens over there. Now with the advent of technology, there are not many best practices which have come into the picture, wherein the examination process itself has become very, very efficient. So one of the activities, what we have seen in the examination, in the last about 6 to 8 years, there has been a shift from paper pen examination, normally what we call as a OMR-based examination, to a conduct of computer-based examination. Many challenges which are otherwise there in the application or stage, or let's say the OMR paper and pen examination stage gets reduced here. There's no need of printing of question paper, logistic challenges get taken care of, all those hassles get taken because there is a technology which enables and put the entire security measure cover on the overall operation part over there. Accuracy, which is another very, very important aspect or ask from any examination body. Once we conduct the examination, it is very, very kind of normal demand that the examination results should be declared in time and all that. The moment we talk of more of manual checks into that, there is a manual intervention, there is always a likelihood of something going wrong, some delivery is not going in time and so on. So with technology, declaration of result also is one aspect because the entire test pack, when the examination gets conducted, the technology enables moving of the answer packs and the result evaluation becomes much, much faster. More importantly, from a government perspective, when we talk about, not only we have to be kind of efficient, but we have to be perceived to be efficient. So building up the efficiency and transparency in the entire examination selection process is another very, very important task. Because it's a very sensitive matter. There have been not many reports of, let's say, some wrongdoings in the examination and the recruitment part and all that. So how do we help eliminate all those things with the use of technology? It brings a lot of transparency from the candidate's perspective, from the examination perspective. If I am the candidate who is taking examination, in a normal manner, in paper pen examination, my answer sheet is going for evaluation. God knows somebody can do some manipulation over there and all that. But in the examination which is conducted in a computer-based manner, a lot of audit checks are there. Whatever I'm given, there are a lot of audit trails are there. And it's compliant as far as the overall transparency is concerned. That's another one thing. And also with the changing time, when everybody, each one of us is more attuned towards technology, a candidate who's more understanding from the IT perspective, is more familiar on working computer, I think computer-based examination gives another good flavor of his adaptability to the system and delivering the service to the candidate, to the society. And lastly, of course, it is a peace of mind to the administrator also, because you're not bothered about the various challenges which are coming in the examination and more concerned with the delivery of the objective. Sharing some of our very, very brief examples over here. So far in our country, not many initiatives have happened, wherein examination bodies have moved from OMR paper pen examination to computer-based examination. And large number of candidates across the country have taken the examination, and it gives actually the benefit of inclusivity to the candidates even in the remotest part of the country. We are aware like CAT or let's say GATE examination, today there is a large number of candidates are there running, so something more than about 15 to 16 lakh candidates are appearing for the examination. Such large examinations have also moved to computer-based examination. Now another very important aspect here, most of the examination what we have conducted today are multiple choice questions. Wherein let's say for one question there are 4 alternatives are given and it is one alternative which is the best among these 4. But there are certain technical domains, some of specialized functions, like in the civil services mains examination there is a component of descriptive answer sheet writing by candidate also, which is a technical domain, so we need to check the understanding of candidate of that technical area. So there is a still prevalent practice of descriptive answer sheet being adopted in the examination. Now while for the OMR based, I can still do the scanning of the OMR answer sheet, and by doing the answer key, I can come up with the result much faster. But the challenge comes in when you're talking about the descriptive answer sheet. Somebody has to read through that answer sheet, then do the evaluation. So again, the manual evaluation is coming into the picture. But with the technology, what we have done is, we digitize these answer scripts, the digital answer scripts, and the evaluation is done by the same set of evaluator by not looking onto the physical answer sheet, but the scan image of that particular answer sheet. So that eliminates movement of, let's say, that answer sheets to the evaluators across wherever they are kind of operating. Again, the technology eliminates all those administrative hassles which do come into the picture. And many a time, within one particular subject itself, there are multiple subtopics are there. If I'm talking of, let's say, a science paper, it could have a component of physics, chemistry, and biology. If there are 3 different evaluators working on that particular answer script, so they eventually answer scripts move from evaluator 1, which is a physics, to chemistry, and then to the biology. Not only it's a time consuming, but again it gives us a risk of also answer sheet getting lost or maybe other some kind of challenges. So all those errors gets eliminated. And another common thing what we have seen are totaling error, which is another big issue. I being a manual doing the evaluation, it may so happen that I may miss out on one particular question I have not evaluated at all. Or while totaling the particular marks, I will have done an error. Wherever the manual involvement is there, it is prone to risk. It is prone to some kind of error coming in over there. So with technology, we eliminate that as well. Wherein the system itself tabulates the marks, does the totaling on its own, and ensures that no question or answer which is attempted by candidate goes unevaluated by the evaluator. So those are the kind of checks which we have brought in the technology part of it. And of course, in terms of transparency to the candidates, the evaluated answer script of his can be made to him, a digital signed copy of that can be given to him as per RTI compliance, whatever when candidate asks for. So from the examination body also, you need not kind of look into the evaluated answer script and just do a kind of image of that and give it to the candidate. So that eliminates that possibility as well. Benefits of this particular technology we call is the on-screen marking. So benefit of on-screen marking, as I simply said, 100% accuracy in terms of there is no depth totaling error, no question gets missed out. No, that's another one possibility comes in. If I'm the evaluator and I'm evaluating one particular question, say maximum mark maybe 10, but out of a four side, I may just evaluate that particular question by giving marks out of 15. I may have just forgotten whether the maximum mark is 10 or whatever. So this system will eliminate that particular risk as well for that matter. And of course, like section-wise scoring and multiple other benefits which come into the picture. Now, another very important activity is the impersonation. Almost every examination board or the client has faced this. I am the candidate, but in the examination stage, somebody else comes on my behalf, appears for the examination, succeeds the examination, at the final joining time, I resurface as the original candidate. Now, how to eliminate this particular issue? What again we have done is, let me talk about furthermore. What we do in the examination part, as far as avoiding impersonation is concerned, we capture the biometrics of the candidate who come for the examination part. So at each of the centers, we deploy certain equipment and certain software and hardware related solution, wherein the biometric capture is happening at the examination center, and then the candidates come after clearing the examination. Giving an example, let's say maybe 10,000 candidates may have come for examination. Out of those 10,000, if let's say 1,000 people have got cleared the written examination and they come for the final counseling or joining stage, we verify the biometrics of candidates again on that day with the data which was captured on the examination stage. And it can be done in the joining stage or maybe various other stages also to ensure the same candidate is writing the examination, coming for the counseling or joining or many other formalities also. I will share one of the case study also on this part. The image which you see on the right is a kind of handheld device with which we capture the biometrics of the candidates along with photograph at the examination stage. So again, it basically kind of eliminates that particular risk which comes from the impersonation part. Now, towards the concluding mark, we will just like to share, I mean, these were some of the idealistic opportunities, what we said, idealistic situation, if I was to say. Some of these services we have already kind of tested. Now, first and foremost is within the state of Jharkhand itself. I think quite laudable performance by the state government of Jharkhand here in terms of bringing the efficiency in the recruitment examination. We talk about government examination. We understand, I think very recently, probably one of the largest examination in the state of Jharkhand was done, which had more than 4 lakh candidates appearing for the examination. It was for certain government recruitment, wherein more than 7,000 odd positions had to be filled up. Now the challenge to government was not only to have inclusivity, of course like we have to give benefit of all the candidates, the uniformity has to be there, but as I said, like challenges of tribal languages, the districts and the kind of reach what it was required, all those challenges were there. So these 4 lakh odd candidates got examined, and I guess government is on the way to kind of complete the recruitment in the shortest possible time by giving employment opportunity, a fair employment opportunity to all those candidates there. Another very, very important, very prevalent thing over here, as I was saying, most of the examinations so far, what has been done, have been in the OMR, paper pen based, but there have been instances of successful execution of computer-based examinations in the country. The example what we talk about here is of one of the department, one of the municipal corporation who had to recruit some category, rather staff C and staff level D position, which are a lower level staff over there. Now the online examination was conducted, wherein more than 4 lakh odd candidates applied and rather appeared for the examination. So that was another thing which came over here. In terms of the biometric check which I was talking about, I think the latest in terms of the innovations what we have brought, this was done for about 1,55,000 candidates who appeared for the examination. So the biometrics got captured on the examination day, and when they came for the counseling, close to about maybe 4,000 or 5,000 candidates when they came for the counseling, we captured their biometrics, verified, and made sure like the same candidate had come for the examination part. And very large, towards the last slide, I talked about on-screen marking, which is a descriptive answer sheet evaluation. A very prominent public service commission for one of the state government have actually used this on-screen marking approach methodology in delivering results of their civil services examination, which normally was taking about 7 to 8 months, but this entire result process got completed in less than 2 months. So bringing the laurels to the government and overall the citizens and giving fair opportunity to the people concerned there. Something very, very specific, as I said in my couple of initial slides also, within the state of Jharkhand, this 4 lakh odd candidate examination, what we talked about, I guess there were 19 tribal languages which was used for designing the question paper. Exam was conducted in each and every 24 districts. There were more than 400 odd centers. Technology has already been adopted by the state government of Jharkhand. So, I mean, the last 6 to 8 years, what we have seen, I think Jharkhand government has initiated and taken some of the kind of new available technologies in bringing the efficiency to the examination, whereas to best of our understanding, some of these states, which are so-called developed states, have still failed to come at that pace. So I think in terms of the speed and the kind of adaptability, state government of Jharkhand has done it with much more precision and delivering the examination in the last stage. I think that is not something which we had to share from the examination recruitment perspective. Thank you. Thanks for your time.